This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Earth World on your African wilderness. We are here witnessing one of a very rare sighting. Sit back and enjoy, because I'm going to be parked here enjoying this battle of titans. I don't know if you can see it clearly. We have a crocodile to the left and a nice big male lion eating to the right. I don't know if you can hear the sounds of the male chewing on the backside of the wildebeest. And I don't know actually whoever got it first. I got here and they're already fighting for it. The crocodile has been clinging on to the front leg. Yeah, the crocodile has been clinging on the front foot all along. Well, welcome aboard. This is your African safari. Good afternoon once again. We're here at Ndege and we have an amazing sighting. My name is Isaac Rotich and on camera I have Big James, and already we have a sighting that we're not going to leave for a very long time. This is one interesting sighting that it's one of a kind. You don't leave a sighting like this that quickly. So I'm going to be staying here for quite a while. Well, things like this are not common. I've never seen this in my 22 years of guiding. This crocodile is quite away from the main river. We will be showing you how it came to be here. This looks like a flooded area, and so the crocodile found its way here. And it's been staying here for quite a while, because you can tell it's so comfortable with us being here, and I think it's been hunting through these shallow waters. I saw this male lion very early this morning and I didn't know if he was going to kill. What I think happened here is that the crocodile grabbed the wildebeest and then the lion came and took advantage and started eating it. Because it's very rare for a crocodile to walk out and come and steal a meal from a big male lion like this. At the moment, they both look very comfortable with each other, but I'm sure it's gonna get rough when the crocodiles try to pull it, inside, towards inside the water. With this kind of setting, it tells me that crocodiles can be found very far away from the main rivers. Yeah, Patricia, thank you for your comment. What a way to start. For sure, you can't ask more than this. Looking inside that croc's mouth, look at how old the teeth are. One is crooked. Actually, now I can recognize him next time I see him. It looks like he's clinging onto that leg without, least effort. He's got his eyes closed. Maybe I'm thinking he's waiting for the wildebeest to get lighter, and then he's gonna escape with it inside the water. Once it's inside the water, I don't think the male lion will dare go in. But who am I to say anything? I'm gonna be here, and hopefully we'll see what unfolds. Seeing this crocodile this far from water, I should warn everybody who lives close to shallow waters and big rivers not to go swimming, because I never thought in the years that I've been here I would see a crocodile this far from water. Yeah, that guy is really working on that hind leg. I think he was looking forward to a meal. Remember to engage me on #WildEarth. Questions, comments are welcome. Make it much more interesting. I don't think it can get better than this. Behind there are sacred ibis. You see them. Yeah, I'm going to tell you more about the sacred ibis when we come back, but I don't think I'm going anywhere else.
Good afternoon and welcome to and Beyond Phinda Private Game Reserve. My name is Damon, and behind the camera this afternoon we've got Craig, and we're out in this afternoon out in the open grasslands looking for a mother cheetah and her two youngsters. In the meantime though, up on that power line there's a beautiful bird of prey called a Jackal Buzzard. And I'm hoping that for many of you that are keen birders that this is a new bird species for you. It's not a bird we get to see very often here at and Beyond Phinda, and so we're very excited that we managed to spot it. Now I do apologize for the eyesore that is the power line that it's perched on, but of course I can't control where the animals go and what they do. And this is just a power line taking power to one of the research camps in the area, and right now it's serving as a fantastic vantage point for this Jackal Buzzard. Look at how it's scanning down onto the ground below it there, looking for any signs of potential prey. Things like insects like grasshoppers, locusts, or maybe even little rodents like mice. And it will use its very keen eyesight to spot its prey and then swoop down and grab it. And for now, I'm glad to hear a couple of people saying that it is a new bird species on their list. That makes my day to hear that. Now, we haven't got the greatest view of it, obviously, with it facing its back into us, so I'd love to show you the front of it. But if I drove forward, I think it would fly away. So what I'd like to show you is just a picture in the bird book quickly, just to give you an idea of how pretty this Jackal Buzzard is. So here it is here at the bottom. See that very dark back with the bit of white on the wings and that beautiful rufous chest. And of course, the typical kind of hawk or bird of prey appearance with that very sharp beak. And then in flight, look at that wonderful reddish tail, and then the very characteristic contrasting black and white on the underside of the wing. But a fantastic start, awesome and it's flown away. What timing. We're gonna carry on, myself and Craig, and head in the direction of where that mother cheetah and her cubs were last seen, and hopefully we can find them for you this afternoon.
Well, jumbo everybody, and good luck on the cheetah. And yes, what a flying start for everybody this afternoon. I just hope all of us are going to end with such epic sightings. And for us here, me and Bungay, we got some hippopotamus, and we are also along the Mara River, just like Isaac, but we have got very different content, very different animals. It's the same Mara River that you saw with Isaac, the croc, the lion, and everybody fighting for survival because crocs are carnivores, lions are carnivores too. Jumbo everybody. And my name is David, and with me is Bungay. Bungay, good afternoon, sir. And very excited to have you on board, and I'm sure Isaac already told you, comments, questions are very welcome on Twitter, #WildEarth, or you can use @FC in the comment section of your YouTube channels. And for those young below 18, kids question at worldearth.tv. Now, the Mara River is a very long river. We're talking of 400 or so kilometers, maybe 250 miles. And me and Isaac could be at two different places at the same time with very different sightings. That one hippo there is rising up, and you can tell they've been getting lots of warmth from that small little island in the river. Of course, because there's no water there. And then later on tonight, as it cools off, that's when they'll all go out to start feeding. You'll get hippos both inland and outland. That's where sometimes you see they're amphibious. I'm not sure to got a little bird on top. My only guess could be an oxpecker. I could be wrong, but I see there's someone getting a ride on her. Most likely it could be an oxpecker. Missed that question. Kasi, does he put something in the Mara? Milda, very good question, and you're asking whether hippos do migrate. Not really. I would say no. What would happen should the water levels go low from where they are? They'll definitely move to deeper waters. We know hippos without water, they're gone. They're dead. They need water so badly. I mean, they do not sweat like any other animals or like us human beings. So for them to keep the temperatures low out in the sun, they must be underwater. So hippos, I would say yes and no. They do not migrate. But of course, if the tough times, like their years when the Mara River or other water bodies have gone low in water levels, then they have to go look for water. But I would say they do not migrate. So what you want to do is to browse along the Mara River just like Isaac. Hopefully you might get a similar sighting, if not better. In the meantime, we are good to go with Bungay.
Good afternoon and welcome to And Beyond Ngala, where this afternoon we have some elephants, and that is down at a watering hole. They are busy trying to dig for water. My name is Yapi, and behind the camera we have Gerrit. And this afternoon I think we're going to spend more time around the watering hole, or the river itself actually, and we'll try and find more little puddles like this. You can see it's a hot afternoon, and by the looks of it you can see how slowly those elephants are moving at the moment. Those two look like two females, the older one closer to us, and then in between both of them there's a young one. And then the one off at the back, that's a young male. Now this afternoon, ooh, that's another male, older male. Still young though, and you can see, look at the baby, he was just following that one and realized it's not mother, and then head back to her. And now, so I think we'll sit here for a little while, see if they get to dig towards the water.
Welcome back, guys. I think here is a waiting game. See who's gonna outlast one another. I'm betting for the crocodile, and for sure, in my mind, I have no doubt he's waiting for it to get lighter, and then he's gonna pull it. You see, he's trying to pull it in. It's still too heavy. Added with the lion pulling it, it becomes even harder for him, but I am sure he will eventually win. Yeah, this is a battle of two great carnivores of the African wilderness. Pound to pound, strength-wise, I think they are very much the same. That crocodile is easy 300 kilos, and that lion, I would give him a good 220 kilos. So strength-wise, I think they're the same. and there is a lot of respect, because if it was another carnivore like a hyena or a leopard, already it would have been dead from this big male lion. But there is a lot of respect being, played both ways, because the crocodile is very intimidating also. I think the lion knows that he's gonna lose eventually, and so he's trying to eat as much as possible before the crocodile pulls it under. He's panting. I think he's putting a lot of big chunks, both breathing and trying to digest those big chunks of meat. Is taking a toll. But he doesn't want to leave go rest, because the crocodile might disappear with the meal. Remember, this is one of the Mongoro males. There are 4 of them. We saw one this morning. This was part of the 3 I saw yesterday morning playing, but today he's all by himself. The reason, Matt, thank you for that comment. Yeah, it's actually, that's a way, good way to put it. Ultimate tug of war, it is. Yeah. Yeah, but the crocodile is definitely into it, and he's not letting go, because he knows the battle it is his. For sure, I think the crocodile caught this wildebeest, and then the lion took advantage while the wildebeest was struggling. James, if you zoom into that front leg, you'll see where I think he caught the front leg, and while it was trying to struggle, that's how the lion found it. I think that's where it caught it from the beginning, because already the blood is drying up. So I would say, he ambushed the wildebeest, jumped out, grabbed it, and held on to there while it was trying to let it get exhausted so that it could pull it back. The lion came, and took advantage. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Okay, is he gonna try and pull it in? The positioning is not up to his advantage, the crocodile, because the legs of the wildebeest are acting like an anchor. Sorry, I'm not gone. I'm here. I'm letting you enjoy this. It's one of a kind sighting, and a very unique sighting. Look at that. Look at the strength in that lion. Whoa. Very strong. Remember, this is coming live. Cindy, thank you very much for your comment. You want the crocodile to win. I also do want the crocodile to win, because I think he deserves it. He got it fast, so he deserves it. But who am I to say anything? Well, there is enough for everybody. If there was a mutual understanding, they would share. But who am I to say anything? Yeah. Yeah, is he gonna try and pull it again? Yeah, these are the kind of sightings when you come to the Masai Mara of a kind. For myself, I think maybe this is my second one. I saw one, but it wasn't as good as this one, because the buffalo was inside the water. It wasn't a wildebeest. Look at the strength in that male lion. Whoa, look at that. He's pulling the crocodile out of water. Wow, look at that is strength, my friend. Whoa. Yeah, you don't see that every day. Awesome. Awesome. I think, the lion is very smart. He wants the kill to be much more out of water, because if he does get tired or snooze a little bit, the crocodile might sneak with it into the water quickly. So he wants it a little bit more out of water. Can you imagine the weight of the wildebeest, including the crocodile? I'm giving it a good maybe 500 kilos, and he is able to pull both of them. That is brute strength. No, but you can tell, all that is taking its toll. He's panting faster and faster. Well, at this moment, I agree the lion is winning, but it is just the beginning. Remember, it will claim its share. So when it starts, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, it might get interesting even, if he decides to roll and rip off that leg. I don't know. If he the lion continues pulling, he might decide, to do the death roll out of water, and that's when, it's gonna get its share. You can tell that, the lion has worked a little bit from the back of that wildebeest. That's usually the part with a lot of steak, a lot of meat. And usually it's easy to break in, because if either it's a male or female, they can break the mammary glands or the genitals, and easily they can work. He is not leaving that, that space. He's not leaving that area, because the moment he leaves, I'm sure Laura, thank you for your question. You asked if the lion is in danger of being attacked by the croc. At this moment, at this stage, no, because here they're fighting over the carcass. If it was inside the water, if the lion was drinking or either crossing, then it would be in danger. But in this case, no. Not even. Around the ear, they will eat a little bit, then lie very close to it, sometimes using the kill as a pillow. But in this case, he is not gonna leave, because he knows he will lose. Yeah, as he waits, and as we wait to see what happens, I'm gonna let you enjoy something else.
Good afternoon from a gorgeous day out here in the Kalahari at Tswalu. David on camera, and my name's Dylan. And it is, as always, really, really good having you with us. I don't know what we're going to see today. We've decided to do a stakeout at the Shelby Dam. We've got the little shell ducks here. There's only 4 of them left. 4 out of 9. That's like 45% or something like that. Don't hold me to my maths. And interestingly, the survival rate on these birds to adulthood can be up to 70%, between 60 and 70% in some areas where the shell ducks have been studied. So we are considerably below that point at the moment. And we actually don't know what's predating on them or what's happening, but 2 of the duckling bodies have actually been found lying on the edge of the water, which in itself says it's probably unlikely to be predation. That's just out of interest. It is not sad. Well, it is actually sad, but it's also what happens in nature, so I am actually very sad about it, believe it or not. Yeah, but I'm trying to be very philosophical and say, well, okay, this is the kind of thing that happens. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to just spend a bit of time here this afternoon. We've got a little dab chick as well, a grebe. We're just going to have a look at this little grebe over here. Just give us a second. So he actually looks fairly similar to the ducklings, but that is an adult bird. Oh, it's actually a sub-adult. When they're in adult plumage, they're going to get dark around the neck. They get this beautiful red eye and lovely russet colors on them. So that's a youngster that's been dispersing into this area, but I don't think he'll stick around because he needs a lot of insects, and they rely heavily on some water vegetation, which supports the insects which they eat. So, but otherwise we've got a lot of birds directly opposite here as well. We're jumping around a little bit, but I just want to give you an idea of what's coming in and out at the moment. We've got a stack of yellow canaries, Cape glossy starlings, we've got Namaqua doves, we have got Cape turtle doves, we've got red-eyed bulbuls, but those bright yellow ones are yellow canaries. And we got sociable weavers. So there's a lot going on here. And I think with this temperature, which is quite warm this afternoon, we're probably about 23, 24 degrees, we're in for some good, hopefully we're in for some good stuff, because the next 4 days are going to be really cold. We've got a big cold front coming in for the next 4 days.
It certainly is warm today, and maybe birds are not the only thing we'll all find at waterholes, but other creatures too. Now these elephants are moving towards Treehouse Dam. Hi everyone, it's me, Trishal, and I've got Theo on camera this very warm afternoon in Djuma. It's about 31 degrees Celsius, 88 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is warm indeed. And we have this lovely little herd, not too large at all. There's only about 4 individuals that I can actually see, but the rest of the herd will be around. Like I said, they're slowly moving towards Treehouse Dam, which hopefully means we're in for a treat, because there's nothing like a welcome back like elephants playing. Some of you are welcoming me back too. Hopefully these elephants will as well. Thank you all for your warm welcomes. It's quite a heavy day. It's warm. It's windy. Sweaty, and there's lots of smells in the air. A mixture of this dry humidity, dry kind of bush, and the humidity, and just a hint of the kind of vegetation smell, but very heavy. The wind doesn't help. And strangely, watching these elephants on a day like this feels very appropriate, almost as if finally the day has enough weight to carry their presence. I'm going to sit here and just enjoy the sighting for a little bit.
Windy in Djuma, Trishala, did you say? See how calm it is here in the Mara Triangle. And you can tell it's pretty calm because look at those 2 lionesses and look at the bushes surrounding them, and look at the leaves, look at the twigs, and everything is quite static. And you can tell it's pretty warm. Look at the panting of those 2 lionesses. Well, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, I left the hippos and I thought, let me just move on. And like 8 minutes ago, one of these lionesses gave a chase to some zebras they took off. And I told Bunge, who is in the camera today, well, there can be small lionesses, because I saw Isaac from a distance. And luckily, there they are. My guess is this could be the Mogoro pride. I want to investigate very, very quietly. I'll just have to move on and find out which pride this is exactly.
Okay, I think I said something too soon, that the lion wasn't going to leave, but he's left. The crocodile is still clinging on to the leg. The lion has moved a little bit out, but he's not, taking his eyes off that kill. Let's see what this other strategy the crocodile is going to do here. I think he's going towards the head. Remember, guys, this is one-of-a-kind sighting. You don't see crocodiles going to hunt out of water. What is he going to do? Is he using, the body of the
Sorry about that. Good afternoon, and I hope you're all very well. An astounding scene playing out there in the Masai Mara up in Kenya, where Isaac Rotich and David Gatamba Gitu are out examining the wonders of the migration. My name is James Henry. On camera today we have got Bokamoso. There's his powerful thumb, powered by a very impressive bicep, and it's lovely to be with you here on the western fringes of the Great Kruger National Park. We are on the eastern boundary of Djuma, looking for whatever might come our way. So far, I can give you a sum total of vertebrate life forms that we have seen. We have seen 3 kudu and 3 southern black tits. Those are the only things that we have seen so far. But we shall continue the search with great fortitude.
Yeah, sorry about the gremlins. They are getting into our airwaves and freezing our pictures. I don't know what just happened here. I don't know if he's gone back to have a drink, the crocodile, but he swam back. He slid back into the water. I don't know what's happening here. Now look how long he is. I would give him a good, 15 footer. Yeah, maybe about 40 years old. Yeah, that's why he's not intimidated by this male lion. Looks like there is a standoff now. The lion is comfortable that the crocodile is not there, and the crocodile is also comfortable that the lion is not there. I don't know what is going around their mind now, but I'm sure everybody is not as tense as before. These guys can consume up to about 40 kilograms of meat in one sitting. After eating that, they would go for up to around 7-8 days without eating. For crocodiles, they would consume a good maybe 150 kilos, and then after eating that, they would go up to a year without eating. So this is a good meal for everybody, but not enough for both. I don't know what's happening here. Yes, they could be tired. I think the crocodile might be tired from holding on to that leg, and the lion is also from pulling and also digesting those big chunks of meat. Yeah, so I don't know what they're thinking. This is one of a kind sighting. Hey guys, I'm waiting for your questions. Remember, hashtag Wild Earth is where to talk to us, questions, comments, make it much more interesting. Already it's very interesting. It's one of a kind sighting.
Gorgeous herd of kudu that have been they were actually moving past, and then they started turning towards the water, so they may actually still come and drink. But it's nice to see this cow is the one closest to us, with a calf on the right hand side of the frame over there. That's actually a yearling calf, so that would have been born probably October, November last year. So going on becoming a yearling calf. And then the big bull's the one scratching, both of them scratching now, with the big spiral horns. Beautiful antelope. Some people call them the ghosts of the bush, because even for their size, they can actually be remarkably difficult to track. And not so much that you can't see the spoor, but they often inhabit very rocky, densely wooded country, and that's what makes them difficult to see. And there was actually a little yellow mongoose here earlier. About 10 minutes ago there was a yellow mongoose that came trotted past. We've seen them at this dam before. We actually got some really, really nice footage. Just the kudu says that is one big kudu bull. Now I agree, it's probably those horns, or this one facing us here, I'd say it's probably 46 inches, give or take, maybe 48 inches. So it's a really nice kudu bull, and you actually measure that on the outside spiral, outside curve. He's probably about a 7 or 8 year old animal. it would be nice if he comes down and drinks. But they've been doing a lot of feeding in this area because the vegetation around this dam, the bush that he's actually walking towards, is a nice mix in there of a shepherd's tree and then a buffalo thorn. So the shepherd's tree is the one with all these dense branches sticking out, almost leafless, and then the buffalo thorn is at one of the green leaves at the bottom, and sticking right out the very top of there. And those are highly, highly, highly nutritious. And there's a lot of them around here, which probably accounts for all the kudu that you see around this dam. Beautiful afternoon out here. Hey, David, how was your duck lunch that you had? Your roast duck?
Delicious.
Yeah, you see, I strongly disagree with that kind of thing. In light of the fact that we've been watching the slow demise of the Shelby clan and you eating duck for lunch. Nice. Keep that up. No, I'm kidding everyone. David didn't have duck for lunch. He's having it for dinner. No, but it is a beautiful afternoon. So we got this big cold front moving in. We're going from these very mild temperatures today. We're going down to -1, -2 tomorrow morning. And then climbing to a maximum of 16 degrees tomorrow. So tomorrow is actually... So my thinking, if you're keen for it, and I know David will be up for it, he's going for anything, is we're going to try for Artwolf, over the next 4 days while we got some cooler weather. Again, I've got to find you guys an Artwolf. I've nailed porcupine finally. That only took me 12 weeks. So, yeah, if you want to find something slowly, come with me. Yeah. But so we'll try for an Artwolf. Maybe we're lucky over the next 4 or 5 days. But I will pull out all the stops, I promise you. I'll even wear my Artwolf onesie if I have to.
Well, Dylan, hopefully you will get to spot an adult today. You are always very good and I have a lot of respect for your very good eyes. Now, we reposition a little bit and apparently the lioness is also repositioned, especially the one on the right of your screen. And I've been able to find out this particular pride belongs to the Mogoro pride. Mogoro pride consists of 3 females. Not sure what might have happened to the third one. It's quite some time since you were last here. And anything would have happened, you know. I mean, 6 months, a year is a lot of, it's a long time for anything to have happened. See how she's panting. It tells you how warm it is in the marrow right now. See one of the jugular veins going ding, ding, ding. Well, that's part of the heartbeat there, maybe. Of course, it's all connected when it gets pretty hot. But apparently to their left of your screen, we've got a pool of water where I would guess if it gets very warm for them or they would get thirsty, they would just turn around and quench their thirst. It's a nice area that have always had underground water, and you'll always see this water all around there. And as we say, water is life. Is one area we also see lots of birds. You can see we got some yellow-billed storks there, and to me they all look youngsters, not having the full color or feathers or fully grown of the yellow-billed storks. Well, if these lionesses don't do much, we're gonna move on. I think that's the best thing to do, and maybe swing by here a little bit later.
Water certainly is life. As you can see, our patience has paid off and the small herd has moved towards the dam. This is one of my favorite types of sightings, elephants and water. I'm going to be quiet and I want you to watch them playing, watch them drink and listen to the beautiful sounds. jumping. The water's lovely on the shore. Walked by. There's a warthog drinking on the far end too. Waterfall places to be. It's a warm, dry day in South Africa. Come a little bit closer here. Let's say a quick hello. Enjoying your time spent with ladies this afternoon? I know I am. Of them now. They're fully submerged. Splash, splash, plastic. Oh, this must feel like such a relief from the heat. Like I said, it's such a heavy day. Warthog there. Many, many passengers. Oxpeckers. Only managed to get a small drink in. This is amazing. This is gorgeous. How lucky are we that we just get to enjoy this? We get to see them going about their daily business, and we're so lucky to be in the right place at the right time with a little bit of patience. Oh, Hammerkop's having a tough day. Imagine this is happening live, and we get to experience it with you. But for all those times we aren't live, somewhere in Africa there are elephants playing in the water. I like that thought. seen the yellow canaries flying straight across the screen. You'll be hearing them as well, and you can hear this wonderful sound of the elephants rumbling and playing in the water. Now over on that end, on that end of the dam, I'm going to move forward just a little bit so we can get over. On that end of the dam is a spring, and water elephants are very particular about their water, and they'll prefer that. A lot of you are having a giggle about the one elephant that decided to leave a present in the water while the other one was swimming. Don't you dislike those people at the pool? Alright, let's get into a nicer position. Hopefully they'll still be having some fun.
Oh, that sounds disgusting. The elephants smushing their dung into the water. Welcome back to and Beyond Pinde, everyone. We've been successful in our mission. Thanks to our tracking vehicle, we've managed to catch up with this mother cheetah and her 2 cubs. Oh, and not a moment too soon. You've joined us just in time. She's decided to stand up. Look at how she's busy scanning, looking down into the valley beyond. The temperature here has just started to drop a little bit. Look at how long the shadows are getting. So now with that slightly lower temperature and all the animals starting to move around a little bit more, this is a perfect time for her to scan and look for any movement on the far side of that ravine in search of some potential prey. Have a look at her tummy and how I've often spoken about that very kind of greyhound physique. Tan, you are just about to ask about her, about if she looks thin or skinny. And yes, she's got that kind of very typical greyhound physique where her tummy tucks up in towards her pelvis. And that tells us that she hasn't eaten in a little while. Which is exciting for us because it means that she might get up and start to move around in search of some food. And look at that very typical cheetah pose, sitting upright, her ears on the alert. I'm hoping that she looks back at us again because I've spoken about this particular female before, and some of you may remember she's got the most gorgeous eyes. They're a much more orange color than most of the other cheetah that I've seen. And I do hope that she looks back over her shoulder at us so that we can see those beautiful eyes. Look at how alert she is. And there's some hills off in the distance with some open clearings, and no doubt that like I said, with the approach of sunset, antelope like impala and even nyalas might come out of the thickets to come and graze on the open clearings for a bit before the sun sets. Oh, looking back at us. Absolutely gorgeous. There we go. Let's get a shot of those eyes. My goodness, she's beautiful. Kirsty in Final Control is saying they look like the color of honey. They do. I suppose maybe like a combination of like blue gum honey with a slightly lighter shade. But look at those 2 little cubs lying there in the shade, still so fluffy, looking very content and still very lazy. Look at how shame that one on the right. It opened its eyes just for a brief second and now they're closed again. Have a careful look at that cub on the right, everybody. She's almost shaking a little bit. Look at how her head is kind of bobbling as she lies there. I think with it having been quite a warm afternoon, probably just panting a little bit, trying to cool down. There's a lovely cooling breeze blowing over us though, and this fantastic vantage point that this mother cheetah has chosen for her cubs to rest, not just enabling her to scan for prey, but also exposing them a little bit to the wind so that they can keep cool. Look how she's looking off to the left there. There's a yellow-billed kite that's busy flying overhead. I think she just spotted the bird and decided that it's nothing to worry about. Oh, let's see if Craig can get it on camera. Well done. There we go, that yellow-billed kite flying overhead, looking for any carcasses, any carrion. And very exciting, we've been speaking quite a lot today about the return of spring. We saw that lily earlier. We spoke about the cuckoos and how they migratory, and they start to come back during springtime. Also these yellow-billed kites, another migratory bird that will have spent our winter months further north in Africa, up in the kind of the Sahel region, south of the Sahara, and they're now starting to return. So lots of signs that spring is on the way. And myself and Craig are definitely going to spend some time with this mother cheetah in the hope that she does start to move and go look for something to eat. And hopefully when you come back, she'll be on the move and on the hunt.
Okay guys, welcome back. You cannot believe what happened the moment you were not here. The lion walked further away and the crocodile went back into the water and swam away. That's how far the lion is. He is somewhere in that bush, approximately around 300 feet. He's hiding behind that bush for some reason unknown to me. And then to my left, the crocodile is a long way down there. I don't know if we're gonna find him for you. There he is. Can we see him? There he is. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, that's him. That's how far he swam. What is happening? I don't know. I don't know if they've gone to take some energizers or something, or regroup with their gods and then come back for the tug of war. I don't know. I'm staying here because this is one of a kind sighting. What happened right now, I've never seen. What is happening right now, I don't know. This is a lot of food here. They cannot just leave it like this. Somebody will come back. Yes, somebody will have to come back, and when they come back, I'm gonna be right here. So I think they are regrouping to come back. Nobody has won, but I would say the lion at this moment, I would say he's won because he's eaten a little bit. The crocodile has got still upper hand because the kill is still very close to the water. He can still come back and drag it into the water.
Good afternoon. I know I've joined a little bit late, but we are at Pridelands Eco Training, where of course we've managed to find some elephants that blocked me in my tent earlier today. My name is Taylor McCurdy, and on camera with me is Sebastian. And it's been really nice to be working with this fella again. It's been a while. We know one another. But we've actually been looking for these elephants all afternoon, and they evaded us because, you know, using the roads is not a trend anymore, and they thought that they'll just go straight through the bushes. And it's awesome to see how the bush has just changed so quickly, just over a couple of weeks, and how they've flattened a lot of the vegetation, and especially the grasses. So it is easier for them to sort of move around and not rely on using the roads anymore. But now this leadwood tree is unfortunately in our way, and I might have to just move a little bit further forward. Let me do that, so that we can see the elephants again. Yes, thank you. It's very nice to be back. Very good. It's also weird, I keep looking up at Sebastian's head, because the last time I was here the camera was a lot higher and I had to get used to doing that, and now I've got to look at him straight into his eyes. Here we go. This is a better view, well, of an elephant bottom. Also some very noisy hornbills chirping about, but it wouldn't be a safari if I didn't take, well, it wouldn't be a safari at Eco Training if it didn't see any elephants. But apparently now I know that all of you are commenting on the chats about a particular breeding herd of elephants that I have become quite fond of, and has now become the superstar pridelands, and I've heard Susan has been quite a handful, but no, we haven't seen her yet. There was a breeding herd that was swimming. As you can see, these elephants were also at the dam a little bit earlier, probably around 2:30 or so. You can see their backsides are a bit wet. So they were there splashing themselves in the little bit of water that's left at Ndlovu Dam. But I didn't see if Susan was there. There was too much commotion with all the bulls and the females and little ones. So I thought best not get in their way. And then I went to get my shoes to put appropriate bush shoes on, and then got trapped at my tent. So that was a fun time. So we'll keep an eye out for some of my favorite breeding herds. But I don't know. You know, the elephants, they don't have to stay here. And with the vegetation thinning out as it is, I wouldn't surprise me if they start venturing back into Baluli or venturing into the Klesiri and maybe even pushing as far as the Kruger National Park or the Timbavati, somewhere around there. But we're going to continue looking for a breeding herd of elephant, and maybe, just maybe, Susan will reveal herself.
Elephants, and for those of you who were not with us yesterday in the afternoon, I'll tell you how lucky you are. You're very lucky, because we saw these two chickies yesterday at the very same spot, and they belong to a species of birds called the spar-winged lapwing. The two tiny ones, and once the females mate, they'll always lay their eggs on the ground, and you know, eggs of lapwings usually blend in very well in the ground, and I guess that could be the mother. I'm saying it could be the mother because it's very difficult to sex or to tell this, you know, their sexual dimorphism is not as clear as certain birds like the ostriches, and difficult to tell them apart. But there was another one here a few minutes ago, and both of them were attacking or moping a hammerkop. The hammerkop came and landed very close to the chicks, and they were very, very uncomfortable. So the two young ones are learning, you know, the ropes on how to feed before time comes when they'll be on their own. And just look at how different they are from the mother. How exciting to see them at that tiny age. Some of the challenges they would face are like the crocodile that, you know, we saw with Isaac. You know, anything water would come and catch them. Snakes like pythons too would easily come and catch them too. Monitor lizards, big birds of prey, and look at the reflection in the water. It's very good. Not very far from here, we also saw the goslings yesterday. Maybe on our way back, we might stop and maybe the goslings will be out also doing a bit of swimming. In the meantime, we'll just move on for now.
So, we've come back to where we found the lions this morning, right on the edge of a watering hole, all full-bellied. You can see some heavy breathing going on. Eyes are almost closed, and they have got a visitor. A big elephant bull that came down from the other side. You can see he's just cooled down and drinking. But the lions don't seem too bothered. And neither does the elephant. Now, it's an extremely hot day here on Ngala today, and because of that and the fact that they are so full, these lions are trying to do as little as possible. Their digestion process takes a huge amount of energy in itself, and that's why some of them are breathing so heavily. They've at least got their heads up. There's a bit of a breeze that's just picked up. Now you can see they're looking in different directions. Every now and again they're glancing back at the elephant, and look at the elephant's trunk. You see it's up in the air, it's kind of waving around. Now the wind's coming from the direction that the lion's on. It's blowing straight onto that elephant. Maybe that's what's prompted him to move now. He's still not too bothered. It's not like he's running off at this point. He's just moving around slowly, investigating the edge of the watering hole, checking for any other elephants that might have come past. By the looks of it, clearly this is a male elephant, and doesn't look like a very old male. But I'm sure if he walks around this watering hole, he might pick up the scent of a herd that's moved past recently. You can see he's just got the tip of his trunk bent out a little bit to sniff the tracks or the other pathways. Now he's found some nice cool mud. So let's have a look. You see he's churning it up with his front foot, and then he'll pick it up, he'll throw it on his head, on his back, and behind the ears. And I'm sure under the belly, which is all the areas that he wants to cool down. Now usually this process, depending on the size of the elephant, can take quite a while. I'm sure he's aware of the lions that's not far from him at this point, but I don't think that they will go and bother him at this stage. So what should be interesting to see is where he goes once he is done with mudding himself. A watering hole like this has quite a lot of pathways going away from it, heading in all different directions where different animals might move to. And how is that for a view? A whole pride of lions and a beautiful elephant pool. Both animals just minding their own business. Now besides that elephant pool, there's also quite a few clearings with very good sweet grasses in this particular area. We're right down in a depression, and that's why the water gathers here during the raining season. So all the good soils get washed down to this part, and the grasses here are often well sought after by animals that mainly live off grass, like the wildebeest, the impala. And that's why most of these lions have got their heads up at this point. There's a lot of things happening around them. They're all looking in different directions, and even though they're full, I'm sure they know and they're very aware that this might be a good spot for an opportunity that they can't pass by.
Welcome back, guys. The crocodile is the first one to come back. You can tell he's still wet. He just like walked out of water. His eyes are open, means he's very alert, using his sight to check the area around. The lion, I don't know, maybe we'll see via the camera what is happening. Oh, there he is. He has come out of the bush. I think they had a timeout, and everybody knows, how much one of each other takes to, get rest or to get restless and come back. The crocodile is the first one to approach the kill. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's trying to get somewhere to hold. He's trying to, find where he can get hold it's too round for him. He needs to open lots of, a bit in his gape to be able to grab, and so he's sassing the whole situation. I don't know if the lion is gonna see him. If it sees him, it's gonna come running. But let's be patient and see what's going to happen here. Will he use his teeth to hook and roll it? I don't know what he's doing. It's rather new to me, this kind of behavior. You can see how fast he's breathing also. Looking at his, I don't know, just behind his throat there. See how he's breathing. Yeah, he's a good sized crocodile, not to be intimidated by the lion. Well, this kind of behavior I've never seen, where they rest on their kill. I have seen them dragging and sleeping with their kill on their mouths, but lying on it, it's rather new to me. And that's the best thing about being in the bush. You always see, you always learn something new every day. It's always, there's always room. If you have room to learn, there's always something new to learn. He's still got his eyes open, so yeah, he's still, sussing the area, out with his eyes open. He's using it as a pillow. I would say yes, definitely. But for what reason? Because he needs to be dragging it and eating it. I don't know. Either to, catch up his lost strength. I'm sure he's one very angry crocodile, because killing it and catching it wasn't easy, and for the lion to come and take advantage and start eating it, I'm sure he's not a very happy lad, this one. Yeah, remember, these are Nile crocodiles, found east, all over East and Central, all the way to Southern Africa. They still consider man as a source of food, and is one of the top predators in all the African rivers. Yeah, our friend there, the long face, the male lion, he's resting. He doesn't know what is happening. Yeah, Mr. Croc, you better take advantage of this and get away with it before. Okay, he's trying, like I said, he's trying to get hold. Yeah. Oh, hear that? The strength. Let's listen. There we go. He's grabbed it. He's got it. Yeah, I think the lion hard. Yeah, he's gonna pull it now. Like I said, he was trying to get hold of it. Now he's gonna pull it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that is strength, my friend. Okay, let's see. He's trying to get a grip, anchor himself so he can pull it. He's pulling it. Yeah, he's pulling. Yeah, he's got hold of it, and now I think it's going. Yeah, well done, crocodile. Yeah, this is super strength, guys. Might look like there is no effort, but I tell you, the amount of power in that jaw, the power to pull it backwards is unbelievable. The lioness. Yes, that was brute force. The biting power of a crocodile. If it misses you, I don't know when it missed, you had that smashing of the two jaws. Yeah, these are fully grown wildebeest, so it wasn't easy for him to bring it down, especially in shallow waters like this. Yeah, I don't know what's happening to our lion, but let's stick to the crocodile and the wildebeest. I think already he knows he's got the advantage, he's got hold of it, he's got a grip, he's regaining his strength, and I think it's a matter of just a few minutes now, and he's just gonna be underwater. Beautiful, thank you, James. Yeah, Pat. Yeah, look at those teeth. Yeah, you don't want to be under them. Yeah, also you don't want to be scratched by them. You can imagine the amount of bacteria over the years, what it's been eating has been left there. You don't want to be under there. Crocodiles have got about 72 teeth, all different sizes, and a very, very, very strong jaw and skull. I have seen many, crocodile skulls, and when you hit them with a rock, they sound like metal. So you can imagine how strong they are, and how sharp those teeth are. Look at them. There is one particular teeth that stands out. I don't know if you see it on the top jaw, on the opposite side. It's much longer than the others. I don't know why it doesn't have another one like that one, but they're all different sizes. Those long ones are for getting a good grip, and also piercing through skin, and also inflicting injury where gives the animal, the prey, to panic, lose excess blood, and it dies much quicker. Yeah. Okay, what is happening here, Mr. Croc? Okay, let's see, continue watching and see what's gonna happen. Well, there's a saying that say you snooze, you lose. I think the lion is losing here big time. It's a matter of time now before the crocodile wins. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, this guy is very far away from water. It's very unusual where he is, but I think he took advantage of the floods and followed the water, towards the stream, and then eventually ended up here. This reminds me that you can find crocodiles as long as there's a river close by. If there are streams, you will find crocodiles. And so if you're ever anywhere in Africa, be very, very careful when you go fishing, when you go swimming. Okay, there's a movement there. I don't know if it's gonna pull it back again. There we go. You can tell it's anchoring itself. I think it's gonna pull again. Yeah, making sure it's got good grip before it pulls. Okay, what happened there? Okay, readjusting. Yeah. Is it gonna get another bite? Okay, repositioning. I think it's a matter of time also before the lion comes to check what's happening. You cannot see him, but every now and then when there's that breaking of the skin from the crocodile, the lion raises his head, but he's not sure, but he hasn't made a move from where he is. So the crocodile still got an upper hand if he knows, and if he speaks English, he can hear what I'm saying, he would take advantage of that. Yeah, a little bit of rest maybe before he continues. Just a few seconds. I'm going to leave you to enjoy the sight while James works his magic around the croc and the kill and the lion, and then I'm going to come back to you. Remember, questions are welcome. Hashtag Wild Earth. Engage us. Questions, comments are very welcome.
Welcome back to and Beyond Phinda Private Game Reserve. Unfortunately, the mother cheetah has gone backwards in terms of her activity levels, everybody. She's laying flat down. But look at her two cubs. Especially that one on the left. Look at how it's busy grooming itself, busy licking its paws. And the middle one wiggling around. They look like fluffy little teddy bears. And definitely much more active than when you were last with us. So hopefully that bodes well. We've often seen, I'm sure many of you have seen before, how big cats, when they start to get active, they start to wake up, they often start to groom themselves, lick their paws, yawn. Often with cheetah they do that little wiggly roll over like you saw the little cub do on the right. They kind of jiggle around on their back and then roll over and then swap sides. And they often get up pretty shortly after that. So I'm hoping that these cubs if their mother doesn't get up and start to move around and go and look for food, that they at least get up and maybe start to play, chasing each other around. Oh no, but it's laying down as well. So back to the waiting game for myself and Craig.
So we've got quite an unusual sighting. We've got 2 black-backed jackals that are on the run at 4:15 in the afternoon. Now, I'm sure everybody's complained about the heat just as much as we complain about the cold, and it's only going to get progressively worse as we go into summer. But these jackals, it was quite funny. So we've actually been following them now for, Seb, how long? About 20 minutes or so. So they popped out in the road in front of us, and I thought, that's a bit strange. There's also a squirrel shouting in the background at the jackal. And we couldn't follow them down the road, and then they cut through, and now we've managed to find them again. But they've been scent marking. I don't think I've actually ever seen jackals scent mark before. So I don't know where they're off to and why they're running around at this time of the day. I'm going to see if I can go forward again, and we can just catch another glimpse of them just through the grass. But it's fascinating. So it's probably a pair, a male and a female, because you know that jackals are monogamous. Oh, they're back. Good spot, Seb. I don't want to disturb them because they seem to be a little bit shy, as they normally are. They kind of look like they're a bit on edge, especially one of them. So they might be out hunting. Maybe they've just said, well, you know, it's such a nice afternoon, let's go maybe try and grab a snack and then watch the sunset. Who knows? But not coming straight towards us. But they look so different from the side-striped jackals, which is the other species of jackal that you can kind of see in this area. I always find that the side-striped jackals it's a little bit more on the chubby side of things, and their coat looks a lot fluffier too. And then, of course, they've got stripes on their side, as their name suggests. You can see, very alert. Also smelling the air, listening to everything that's sort of going on around them. Megan, now you've commented that jackals are always such a treat to see. I know there's a couple of you that are watching today, and well, hopefully are watching, and you love to watch these beautiful species move around. And normally it's just a quick sighting, or they're curled up in the grass and sleeping. So we don't get much, but they might pop out, there they go, by the termite mound again. But it might be the last glimpse. But seeing as though we haven't really got anything else to follow on this afternoon, I think we'll just see if we can keep up with these jackal.
Welcome back, guys. It's getting exciting here because the crocodiles, gotten hold of it again, and it's a good grip. If it rolls it over, then it's over. It's just a matter of time now. Yeah. Whoa, did you hear that? There's power there. Okay. He's gonna readjust. Anchor himself. And then maybe come in. What's happening here? He's gonna go for a rest again. The croc, according to me, although this is only my opinion, he deserves to eat this wildebeest. He caught it fast, and also he's been waiting for the migration throughout the year. Maybe this is one of his only meals, fast meals that he's gonna eat well. So, I would like him to eat, but who am I to say anything? The lion has eaten, a fair share. And I don't know if he knows what the croc is planning here. If he does get hold of it again, rolls it over on its back, it is game over. It's gonna be easy to pull. Right now, all the legs are anchoring the wildebeest, making it hard for the crocodile to pull it. Yeah, the lion has repositioned himself. I don't know why, but he's gone behind the bush, which is added advantage to the crocodile. I think he's taking a breather. There must have been lots of strength lost during the killing, and also turning it from the position it was in, pulling it to where it was after the lion had dragged it out. The lion must have been very smart, you know. It knew that if it pulls it out, by the time the crocodile pulls it back, I didn't get your name. Was it Ulda? Sorry if I pronounced it wrong or if I got it wrong. I hope I will get it next time. You ask if crocodiles only eat leader. Yeah, they do eat only in water. I've never seen them eating outside. I might be wrong. Somebody might correct me, but I've always seen them eating in water. Yeah, and this crocodile here, he's about, like I said before, a good 15-16 feet. He can eat easily 100-150 kilos of meat one go, and after doing that he will stay for up to 1 year without eating. Of course, if there is a fish, if there's something small in the water, he will eat, but he's able to go for up to a year without eating. This is, live coming, to you from the beautiful Masai Mara. And please remember to continue engaging me. Hashtag Wild Earth. More questions, please. Yeah, he's sort of retreating, but I'm not going anywhere.
I must apologize for our absence. We've had this elephant for a little while. Unfortunately, a number of technical glitches have prevented him featuring on this afternoon's show. But there he is, doing his downward dog. Or upward dog, I think. Upward facing dog, yes, that's what it is. And he's just basically been feeding quietly along here, enjoying the greenery, or what little greenery he can find. We found tracks of Thandi the leopardess heading to the east, out of Djuma, and so she's probably having a drink somewhere near Torchwood, which is east of us, and it seems that she left without her baby, so he's probably quite close to where the kill was left. News from the far west is that Hukumuri, the male leopard, came into Djuma, and so we'll go and have a look around that inn and see if we can find him.
From the development entrance into Torchwood. And I think the video was a couple of Ghana from past 10 times, but the different visual.
He's wonderfully dexterous now. He's broken himself a nice piece of lead wood. He's enjoying that. It's not leadwood actually, it's russet bush willow. He's enjoying some russet bush willow. That's not something you see very often, although clearly that tree has been savaged on numerous occasions. Elephants sometimes prune the trees so that they assume a certain growth form, which is tastier to eat. You're all now distracted by my mention of the pirate leopard Hukumuri. We'll do our best to find him. But we have had a rather bumper leopard time of late, haven't we? Oh, he's having a lovely feed there.
Hi guys, I have just found the most gorgeous tree. It is a red spike thorn and it smells absolutely delightful. Very sweet, fragranced flowers, and all over you can see it. It's literally hanging off of the tree. In fact, this tree is sometimes called the confetti tree, which is why I wanted to get out here and show you exactly why. Look at that. How fun is that? Well, I think it's fun. It feels like you're playing in snow almost. I love it. So this is all the dry flowers, and you can see that it's actually collected along the bank here in these little green patches. It's stunning. Anyway, I've collected a few samples for you so we can get back into the vehicle and have a closer look. Now we have two types of spike thorns here. We have the common spike thorn and the green spike thorn. The common spike thorn, they look very, very similar, but the common spike thorn is a little grayer, and its flowers are not so sweet smelling. Oh, let's go to an elephant quick.
And how was that for ruining the pride's afternoon? So this guy casually came strolling over, fed for quite a long time, and then just decided to finally come and chase them. See, there's still some lines. Let's see, one's coming around the back, so they've gone in all direction. Let's see what he does. So he knows that the lions are all spread out. It looks like the young male might be down in the riverbed. Most of the young ones. So they're slowly moving up. Let's have a look and see. He might take his frustration out, and what I've seen before is occasionally they'll break nearby branches. And this guy wasn't very aggressive with his chase. He still looks a little bit young, so it might be, maybe he doesn't have the confidence yet. I think I might just move and reposition before we get in the middle of this. You can see now we are a little bit further away. We don't want to get involved in this. This is a natural thing that happens every day out here, where lions and elephants do encounter each other, especially around watering holes. Because of their habits, you find that lions, especially after they've eaten like this pride has, they go towards watering holes, and they often stay nearby in the shade. And when the elephant does occasionally come around, it will try and chase the lions if it gets the opportunity. Now one might ask, why would it chase the lions? It's such a big elephant, and the lions probably won't try and attack it. Now in this case, this is a large pride. There's quite a few members. Tango, that's a very good question. Could these lions bring down that elephant if they wanted to? One thing I have learned with lions is one should never underestimate the capabilities of a large predator in a large group. And in this case, the terrain is a little bit tricky, which means in terms of that, the lions definitely have the advantage. The elephant does make a mistake and it puts itself at a disadvantage. Then in an extreme case, I guess the lions could benefit from that. But in reality, and in my opinion, I think that elephant might be a little bit big for this pride to take down, even if they wanted to. Now there are areas where lion prides with huge numbers do attempt to hunt young elephants. Over here on Ngala, I don't know of any records where a large elephant or a young elephant have been brought down by lions. So you can see at this stage that the elephant is now, he's still flicking his tail side to side, and in this case he's definitely not completely relaxed, but he has taken his focus and put it more on feeding at this point. Might also be that he's a little bit unsure of where they all are and decided to kind of hide himself within that thick tree. You can see that lioness wants to come past, but she's a little bit unsure. Maybe she doesn't have a clear view of what he's doing. See, she's just glancing in his direction, but she also doesn't look too bothered. She knows he's big, she knows he's the stronger, larger animal. And why not keep an eye on any potential threat while relieving yourself? Maybe she's not too worried. Butterfly, I think they are being scaredy cats. Or maybe it's just a case that they are so irritated, they don't want to spend a lot of energy. It is very hot, and that's why we see they are constantly staying within the shade. But it might also be that because of that, he's basically one huge irritation to them at this point. And maybe they know that he's going to come, or he might attempt another chase, but they're not going to run off far because they know that they're much faster and he won't really be able to catch them. So I don't think they'll move away completely out of this area, at least not yet. But a very large irritated elephant is something that I think most of us would certainly stay clear of. Now, at the moment, I don't think these lions really pose a threat to that elephant. Like the amount of energy they would have to take from their side to be a threat of in any way at this time and this heat is probably not worth it. From his side, as long as they stay clear of what he's doing, I think he's okay. He's asserted his rank in this particular area by chasing them. You can see he's just stopped wagging his tail. Maybe he's stopped feeding as well. It's difficult to see clearly, but I think he might just be listening out. I saw some lines on the other side towards where he's looking, and it might be that he's either looking through that bush in front of him, or maybe he's just trying to listen out if there's any moving about. You can see the lions at the back aren't too bothered anymore. There's enough with their heads up. If he moves that way, they'll probably pick up their head. and make a move on that. Actually, the Birminghams are certainly watching Television. Doesn't seem like it's an extremely exciting show to some of them. And I guess what we're seeing here is also another benefit of being in a large group. You can see they just picked up the head. I think it sounded like there was a contact call coming from the direction that they're looking into. And I saw earlier the young female with the 2 small cubs walked off into that direction. Now, one thing, having a large amount of members within a group like this means that the others can react according to reactions of ones that are more aware or ones that are picking up on something they're not seeing. Just have a look at those 2 little ones. They're so curious. It's tough to say whether I don't think this is their first experience with an elephant. But I can imagine that it must be quite a confusing situation. You can see that mother looks a little bit more concerned than the other lion. She's carefully checking out the elephant and what he's doing. Also where the rest of the pride's moving and their positions. Now imagine you're a little lion like that. You know that you're safe with all the other lions around, but then something large like an elephant comes along and it chases all of them. I wouldn't know if it's a traumatic experience. I'd say it's more like a healthy warning for the future, or a learning experience. And immediately you can see as the mother puts her head down, she's not worried. Immediately the other 2 relax as well. So for now it looks like this elephant's just gonna, it seems like it's not too interested in them anymore, and same from their side. So I think we'll sit here, see if the situation changes, and in the meantime watch them settle down again.
Wild Earth relies on support from viewers like you to carry on broadcasting our daily live shows. A small donation goes a long way in helping us on our mission to connect the world with nature. Please visit our support page to see how you can help and become part of the Wild Earth family.
That sounds like an amazing interaction. I'm so glad that you got to see it in its entirety. Our flowers had to wait, but that's okay. It really is. It's always about the big things and the small things. I'm glad that you got to see that sighting. Now I'm taking a big sniff of these wonderful flowers. Remember we said it's a red spike thorn, Gymnosporia Senegalensis. And I said we have 2 types here. We have the common spike thorn as well, but its flowers do not smell very nice, apparently. I don't think they smell horrible, but these flowers smell amazing. You can see that they're in these like delicate auxiliary clusters. And they're very, very small. And they smell sort of a mix of syringaberry flowers and jasmine. So very, very sweet and lovely smelling. And they die off. You can see there's little bits. They're very short-lived. And they die off into these little dry bits that most of them have been blown away by the wind now. And that's what creates the confetti that I was throwing up in handfuls. Really, really pretty and smells amazing. And it's all over the place at the moment. All of them are flowering. To my left we saw the big one, but over to my right here there's an entire thicket of them. Blooming, blooming, blooming. There must be so much of this flower confetti in piles on the ground there. Now apparently you can also make a pretty effective whistle from these leaves. I have tried in the past, but I'm going to try again for you. I perhaps may be embarrassing myself, but let's give it a go. So you have to very carefully fold along. Oh, that's not careful, Trishala. Hang on, let's start again. These leaves are so thick that it's so difficult to actually fold them without cracking them. Listen. Hear that? It's very difficult to do that without cracking them. So, let's try. Let's try again, Kirst. The crack again. Right, let's try. So apparently you'd fold it like this, and then you'd blow into it. Very effective. Very, very effective whistle. Let's try the other side. I guess you have to be seasoned in whistle making. Oh look, a fly has come to tell me how bad my whistle making is. Yes, I know it was bad, fly. You didn't have to come sit on my dash to tell me. Oh, you're going to a little broken pipette glass. Oh, you enjoy that. Well, apparently, like I said, you can make a whistle, and it is quite effective. I am just very bad at such whistle making.
Guys, we got a brown hyena. This is an insanely good sighting of a brown hyena. We've seen them a couple of times, but this is, I think, got to be one of my absolute best. He's come walking in from quite a long way away, and he's going to come down to drink. We've got the shell duck just to the right of where the hyena is now. This is a fantastic sighting. Please forgive me, I'm going to take one or two photographs. If you do hear something, it's me. But this is insane, man. Oh, what an animal. These animals actually, they'll drink water when it's available, but they can persist in the harshest environments, even areas where spotted hyena won't occur. So we're incredibly lucky to have a very, very good population at Tswalu. Oh man, what a sighting. What a sighting. This is incredible. What's interesting, I'm looking at those, he's got huge injuries under his neck, big cut marks, and this is the same individual that we saw probably 4 weeks ago that came down to the water. He's looking a lot better than he was last time. But you can see those injuries on the neck, eh? Can you see that injury on the neck, David? See that big cut underneath the neck? That's from fighting. Very, very typical injury of fighting with brown hyena. He's got a torn nose. He's got a big chunk out of his nose as well. What an incredible sighting. And just to see the water dropping out his mouth when he lifts his head. And the two shell ducks in the front. Oh man, this is just incredible. And you can see, compared to what our colleagues are seeing with the spotted hyenas, look how long and shaggy their coat is. This is one of the adaptations that they've got for surviving in very, very harsh conditions, very, very dry conditions, which are often prone to extremely hot temperatures and extremely cold temperatures. And a long shaggy coat can actually assist with thermoregulation in very hot conditions as well as very cold conditions. So it's so good to see this, eh? What a sighting.
And to see this in broad daylight, okay, all the hyenas we've seen have been in daylight so far, but very, very frequently, well, not frequently, in I think like 4 weeks' time, we're going to be hitting much, much higher temperatures, and you're not going to see these in daylight. Gary says he looks like he's had a rough life. Gary, you should see me. No, that hyena's got more hair than I've got. No, the typical fighting like that, injuries, they are tough as nails. That injury is going to heal very, very well, and he's already looking a lot better than he did the other day when we saw him a couple of weeks ago. So he's survived, He's had his drink of water now. No, he's going to head off. But that's like a werewolf looking animal of note, But you see the strong forequarters and the sloping hindquarters? That's actually a very, very good design. It's almost like a crane-like design for carrying large, heavy prey items. And they will very typically, I know, and it sounds crazy if you compare it to spotted hyenas, but they will typically sever the legs off a large carcass. Even things like eland, giraffe, and that, they'll often gnaw through the ligaments and the sinews and carry off the legs. And they do bury them, and they'll come back to that in times if things are very, very dry. There are amazing examples of hyena dens, these brown hyena dens that have been used for centuries, literally, consecutively. And in Namibia, they've actually recorded dried out thresher sharks in hyena dens. Can't remember exactly how many kilometers inland, but 10, 15, 20 kilometers inland. I'll have to check exactly what that figure is. But they've actually recorded sharks, penguin carcasses, seal carcasses being carried inland at these den sites. So, they are incredible animals, and we are so lucky to see that. Wowzers, that was worth it.
We have got very lucky. There was a vague report of a couple of alarm-calling monkeys near the dam near our camp. Thank you to whoever gave us those warnings, and there is Tlalamba. Daughter of Tundi, daughter of Tingana, and now having a dump. Fantastic. No, just a pee. That's much more elegant. Now that little territorial marking that she's doing there, I think, is indicative of estrus. I think we did actually see her mating on the dam cam with the Mulwati, the male leopard. And so you have this interesting situation where you could easily have Tlalamba bearing the offspring that are siblings and cousins to Tundi's latest. She's got something in her eye there. Thank you, Karen, for the update. It was Karen who gave us the update. I think it was probably a scrub hare. Mr. Tail now. Some poor creature is now hiding. It's moving in there. It's not just her. Oh, she's on the move again. Alrighty, let's carry on. Following her is quite a task, as always, so we need to be hugely alert. We want to wipe ourselves out as we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She can disappear in a heartbeat. saw her yesterday, didn't we? Lauren did for about 10 minutes before she disappeared. So far we've managed 3 minutes. BK? Any smart ideas? You go up there. It is unbelievable how difficult she is to follow.
Welcome back to And Beyond Panda. These 3 cheetah are still lying pretty much exactly where they were when you last left us. Also have a look now at the color of the light on them. It's starting to go that lovely orangey red color as the sun starts to set. And the cheetah's still looking pretty restful. A little while ago, in the valley beneath where these cheetah are currently lying, we heard some Inyala's alarm calling, and that got her attention, and she sat bolt upright, and even the cubs sat bolt upright, and they were staring down into the drainage line for quite some time. We've also subsequently seen quite a big herd of impala that have come out of that drainage line, and she even watched them from this distance, watching them quite intently, but has obviously decided that it's maybe a bit too late in the afternoon to go to try and hunt. Down there in that drainage line, if there's something alarm calling, it's more than likely a large predator, maybe a leopard or a lion that's starting to get active with the cool of evening, and she won't want to risk going in there trying to catch something and then trying to wolf her food down while there's large predators around. So I think playing it safe and deciding to rest. But just while these cheetah are lying stationary, everybody, I would just like to get back to you all on that lily. For those of you who were watching earlier this morning, we came across that lily that I thought was a Karoo lily or an Amatoris coranica. I went and did a bit more research, and I found the lily that it actually is, and it's this one over here. So it does look very similar to that lily that I initially thought it was, but this one is called Boaphone disticha, or the poison bulb. So it's still poisonous, just like the Amatoris coranica, and apparently it used to get used by bushmen, by the sand people, to dip their arrows in before they'd go hunting. A plant that I haven't seen before, so a new plant for me, and yeah, my apologies for misidentifying it earlier, everyone, but looking forward to seeing more of these lilies as spring progresses. And I think we're going to spend a bit more time here, myself and Craig, just in the slight chance that the cheetah does start to move. Yeah, we'll see.
This giraffe, it's the same one that we saw this morning with the injured eye and the injured back left leg. Let's just dip down to have a quick drink. Head back up very quickly. Surveying. Am I safe enough to be in this vulnerable position? Where it looks like I'm ice skating and I'm not sure what I'm doing. Because to me that's what they look like when they drink. Yes, go down, show us one more time. Ah, and I think that we are done drinking.
It's not
I was so sure it was the same giraffe. Let's see the other eye. The two has the two big calcified. It had the two big calcified knobs on the head. It had the injury on the back. Ah, its injury is in the back left. The other one's injury was on the back right.
Okay, copy, take.
I was so expecting for it to turn its head, for us to see the eye, and then the eye was normal. Well done, giraffe. You have a normal eye.
Go ahead.
The injury looks very similar to the injury that... Oh, look, hornbill. Just photobombing there. The injury on the leg of this giraffe looks very similar to that was in the leg of this morning's giraffe, the injured eye one. How beautiful are those eyelashes? Absolutely stunning eyelashes. When I see those eyelashes, I think, wow. I wish I could have eyelashes like that. Just gorgeous. Wendy, you would like to know, what is the lifespan of a giraffe? A giraffe can live for quite long, 20 to 25 years. You'll find usually with larger animals, they tend to live longer than smaller, rapidly reproducing animals. Nice. Well, having a bit of a snack, and I'm done with my mango strip snack, so I'm going to keep on going. We'll move towards Galago Pan and see what's happening on that side.
Well, I think if that giraffe was here, it could enjoy the leaves of this shepherd tree. But instead of having a giraffe, we have a big raptor on top of it. Not sure. I may request or ask you, which bird of prey do you think that is? It's quite a distance from where we are, and maybe not very clear on your screen, and she's facing the other way, unlike facing us. But the scenery is good. I'm sure Bungay had given you a chance to have a look at it. Maybe for once I would want to ask you, which bird do you think that is? Which, bird of prey did you take off? Not really, oh, that's a different one. But look at that scenery in the meantime, as you find out who do you think that is. Tweet #WildEarth. Megan Peter, very well done. Megan Peter, very well done. Marshall Ego, excellent. You must be good birders, Megan and Peter. Congratulations. Yes, I didn't know anybody would pick it up, Megan Peter, especially when she is facing the other way. And as far as I'm concerned, she looks a little bit immature, like the yellow-billed storks that we saw earlier near the two lionesses. But either way, Megan Peter, very well done. This is one of our strongest, I would say both strongest and largest eagles that we got in Africa. Crown eagles could be much stronger maybe than the Marshall eagle, but out here for the big raptors that we see many times or more often than the other, it is the Marshall eagle. Quite large, quite strong. So if you have any other birds around here, you'll hear them chirping and calling and trying to mob it or getting quite uncomfortable because they know what she is worth. From a distance, rather difficult to tell whether it's a male or female, but if you see two together, the females are generally a little bigger in size than the males. And if you compare the kind of prey they bring down, the females will always go for bigger prey. Sometimes even young lambs, young impalas. That's what they bring down because they are much stronger. They got stronger tarses and legs. Can easily just land on any prey and then just take off with it to a place to feed on. We'll move on. And I've come to an area that I've not been for quite some time because you never know. I'm not seeing anybody here. No other vehicles. I've been alone for the last 10 minutes, which is quite something when we look what to be going through because of the COVID-19. But again, hopefully tourism will pick up and we'll have people coming to enjoy the migration. But I think you're very lucky. We bring the migration just in your living rooms, isn't it? Very good. I'm happy you enjoyed seeing the Marshall eagle. Yesterday I did a lot of birding and today I did a bit of mammoths, but it was also very good to see a Marshall eagle, which I can tell you the last Marshall eagle I saw was in my village, and that's like 5 months ago. And before then, the last Marshall eagle I had seen was right here in the Mara. Speak of the devil, we got people visiting, which is good. Very good. Let's find out what else we might see on this road that I have not been for a couple of months.
Welcome back, guys. Since the last time, the crocodile has visited the wildebeest once. Got hold of it, pulled it, and then he let go and went into the water. He's still very close though, he's not very far, you can see him there. His eyes are very open, so it means he's very interested. He's checking the area out, and he did pull it closer than before. And I think if he goes one more time, he's gonna be able to pull it in the water. Our contender, Longface, the lion, is still taking a break. Quite a distance away, he was down. It's nice to see him. You can tell now he's starting to feel uneasy, and I must advise him, if you could hear me, it's about time to get back, otherwise the meal is gonna go. The weather right now, it's really good. It's cooled down. All the birds are flying away to roost. Everything is calming down. So it's about time the lion comes. The crocodile is here. Remember, this is one of a lifetime sighting. I'm so grateful that you're sharing it with me. It's one of those things that you see in movies, one in a lifetime. I don't think I've ever seen this, so I'm very happy that to have been sharing it with you. I'm still gonna hold on to this spot. Yeah. Pound to pound, I think it's about 1,000 kilos per square inch. That is a lot. 1,000 kilos per square inch. So that is the force it's got. So it's an animal with extreme force when it bites. I think it's one of the strongest bite forces we have in the world. In Africa, it could be ranked either second to the hyena or the first. It could be either way. Some people think the hyena, depending on how they measured it. Some people think the crocodile, but I still think the crocodile has got a stronger jaw. That's my opinion though. Yeah, I hope I answered your question. Poor wildebeest, he doesn't know what's happening to him, but this is a cycle of life here. Somebody has to die for somebody else to survive. Yeah, and when it goes into the water, even the fishes and the frogs will be happy to feed on a few parts of the wildebeest.
Welcome back, everybody. We've just repositioned ever so slightly because we are about to be treated to one of the most spectacular sunsets. The umbrella thorn tree, a mother cheetah, her cubs, and the setting sun in the most beautiful late winter haze. And I think in maybe 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes from now, that sun's going to be just behind her, and it's going to be absolutely breathtaking. But look at how she's sitting up again, everybody. And just moments ago, she sat bolt upright with her ears perked and staring pretty much in the direction that she's looking now. And myself and Craig were just marveling because she had definitely seen something. She was staring fixedly into the bushes, and try as we might with the binoculars and with the camera, we just could not see what it is that she was looking at. Just so impressive, their vision, their eyesight. Of course, her eyes will be trained to spot the slightest movement, the slightest thing that's kind of amiss. It is an absolutely beautiful scene though, with her, that umbrella thorn and then the sun behind her. And it seems like I might have spoken a bit too soon earlier when I said that she was never mind. I was going to say, maybe by me saying that she didn't look like she was going to get active spurred her into getting active, but it looks like she's flopped down again. And myself and Craig, as we said, I think maybe 5-10 minutes from now, that sun is going to be just behind her and it's going to provide the most incredible sunset. So we're going to stick here, and when you come back to us, we'll have the sun a little bit lower in the sky and another beautiful scene to show you.
The beautiful setting sun is truly spectacular, and the sunlight is stunning, falling on these two spotted eagle owls. Can you hear the squirrels going crazy? Often when we hear squirrels, we only think about land predators, but what about all the aerial predators that they do not want to get into the talons of? These spotted eagle owls are one of those. Now, exciting news, everyone. This pair is in the exact same spot where Sebwig was. And I suppose it is the time for them to reaffirm themselves, their bonds, and oh, that's quite a look, and hopefully give us Sebwig number 2. You say hello, Sebwig's parents? I think these are Sebwig parents. I mean, there's no definite way to tell, at least not with my eyes. But they are two spotted eagle owls in the exact same spot that Sebwig's parents were at previously in the Mowati. Gosh, they almost look robotic when they move their heads like that. And so maybe we will find a nest at some point. Which would just be great. In fact, they don't really have a specific breeding time. But it's mainly between June and November, and peaks around August, October. Shaggy, you were just asking about that. They don't exactly have a nesting time. They just peak around August, October. Yes, hello. It is your time, isn't it? And those eggs are only incubated for about a month or so. Of course, they are monogamous, as most raptors are, predatory birds are. And they tend to nest in the same areas. Sometimes as much as maybe 500 meters from the previous nest, but they tend to keep it within that distance of each other. So this would be awesome, and this is a great space to come back to and check on them if we manage to get Sebwig number 2.
Well, Trishalla, keep an eye on that nest and keep updating us on what happens, if there'll be any eggs or any chicks or any owlets in the very near future. Now, not sure, let me see, what were their names? Was it Megan and Peter? I'm trying to remember when I gave a little quiz on what bird of prey we had on that shepherd tree. I'll pose another question here. Who do you think this is? Okay, Pete and Megan, very good. I wasn't wrong, Pete and Megan. And it's very nice to ask you another quiz now. Who do you think this is? Of course, not necessarily Pete and Megan, but everybody else who is watching. I'm posing a question to you. Tweet hashtag World Earth. What do you think? Bungay, who is on camera, is showing you. Daniel, I'm not very impressed that everybody is giving the first answers, getting it correct. Daniel, again, congratulations, very well done, like Pete and Megan. Yes, it is a catfish. Well done. And not sure whether the catfish is fishing, but yes, it's a catfish in a pot of water. And you can see how the grass is being blown by the wind, and she blends in very, very well there. Hopefully we do not get any monitor lizards coming here, or pythons, or a leopard. She must have caught something there, you can tell. Very still, very patient hunters. Look how much water is left. And we just came to the very end of the short trains. And yes, I agree with all of you. It's a very huge catfish. And Bungay was like, what are we having for dinner? And I told Bungay, please, that will not possible, but it can be of a major meal on, for supper or dinner tonight. Now, I was saying earlier, not much water is left there, and we just came to the very end of our short trains. And what would happen is, if this water dries up, and just like the hippos earlier, I was talking about hippos will not do without the water, the same case would apply to the catfish. And unlike the hippos, what most of the fish may do, they may build themselves some kind of nest, some mud nest, either on the bank of the small little paddle that she is in, and they do what we call estivation during the dry season. And she's gonna slow down all her body processes, be it breathing or it's moving, yes, or heartbeat, until the weather conditions will improve. Huge turn. She is big by any standard. Thank you, Bungay. Look at the mouth, look at the whiskers, which I'm sure they're used to sense. So again, as I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, when things really get bad, she's going to dig herself a nest. She's going to make herself a nest. Dig, and then she's going to build and seal it and leave a very small opening where air will be coming in. Of course, she'll need to breathe. She'll need to get a bit of oxygen throughout. But all the body processes, as I said, heartbeat and breathing, digestion, everything slows down for as long as it will take for the weather conditions to improve. We have seen, I'm giving it about, 2 feet long, maybe, just about that. And when the weather conditions will improve, when they come out, they normally shrink, just like the crocodiles will do during the dry season. And when they come out, you could tell they look pretty small, because what they do, any fat in the body that they'll have stored is what they'll just use that energy for heartbeat, for breathing, for any other body processes until, where the conditions improve. So until then, they shrink, and that is the fat, the energy they'll use to keep themselves going. Well, that was something. Let's have one more look at it before we move on. I didn't even expect to see a catfish on the way, and hopefully rains will come, and if they don't, she's going to build herself a nest.
Maybe the rains will come, or maybe they won't. And I think at this point, these lions couldn't care less. We had all the excitement earlier. They were moving about, the elephant was bothering them, and now they're all flat down. It's quite interesting, the wind has picked up quite a bit where we are. But where they are, they're laying down in a little dip at this moment, which is a small dry riverbed. You can see the grasses around them is not really moving. moving. But I think because it was such a hot day and because they were fully fed earlier, you often find that they roll around a lot, they move around a lot. I suppose like any creature would when it's uncomfortably full. But at the moment, I think they're using this cool time of the day to go into a last few hours of deep sleep, some of them. It's literally, if we had to drive past here in that long grass and we didn't know they were there, we'd probably miss them. But besides that roll, I don't think too much is going to happen. I think we might just leave them here for the evening.
The sun is still gradually making its way down to the western horizon, and this mother cheetah is still sitting up, everyone. And look at how alert she still is. Ha! It's like clockwork. Every time you come back to her, she seems to lie down. It just looks so peaceful there in that little patch of grass. And the scene is getting more and more beautiful by the second, with that sun making its way through the haze down towards the horizon. But now that she's done this, that she's lain down again, myself and Craig are going to reposition one more time, try for one more view of her with the glorious sunset behind her. And when you come back, hopefully we'll have another breathtaking scene for you.
So we were in our owl sighting. We managed to get a little bit closer to the owl, and Thandi walked by. I'm just going to wait for her to move away from that bush. She was chuffing just a little bit. I was hoping that the little one may come out. I haven't seen that little one yet. We were just having some really, really, really nice views of this owl, and she just walked by. How gorgeous is that? She sat down behind that bush now. I'm going to move a little bit forward. Isn't that stunning? Isn't that just stunning? There's a cub. There's a cub. The cub's just moved to the top there. It'll come back down. Thandi's out. You know, when we were driving towards the owl, we saw this small thing with a longish tail, and I thought it might be, I mean, usually a leopard doesn't run like that when it sees us. And we just saw fleeting, and we came and we saw the owls at that point. It might have been the cub. Yay! This is awesome, guys. The bush just gives you gifts. The gift of sitting in one spot. Let's just be patient. Gosh, I'm spoiled for choice. There's this gorgeous spotted eagle owl. A pair of them, one's just behind the bush, the cub is running around, and Thandi is here. There's the other. What a day! The owls certainly don't look impressed. Oh, don't you watch that cub. Oh, you're giving us a smile. Why, thank you. Alright, Thandi's on the move. It certainly is. It's the best welcome back. Got to see the cub, got to see Kara this morning. Elephants elephants playing in the water. 7 weeks parents. She's gonna pop up back onto the road, I think. Twin Dams is just up here, and that's where the cub just kind of run off to. This is amazing. Amazing. Like the bush is just such a treasure. Who knows what you'll find or what will find you. Alright, she's going up to the road. Let's go towards the road ourselves. Alright, let's hopefully be able to catch up with her. I'm sure we will. She's very relaxed. And while I do my best to reverse up there, let's see what we can find.
I'm so happy for you, Trishala, that you got to spend some time with Tundi and her cub. We, however, not found a leopard, but that's kind of what I was looking for this afternoon. But instead, some yellow-billed hornbills have grabbed Sebastian and my attention. But actually, it wasn't the birds that caught our attention. It was the little black carnivores that were scurrying about the dwarf mongoose. But they've now disappeared into the grass. These guys are not super relaxed, which is sad, because if you've all seen that very well-known video that has done its rounds on the interwebs, it was actually it was Sebastian and I who were, he was filming and I was laughing, basically. So if it was going to be a moment to have that same sighting again, like right now would be it. But anyways, I think maybe the sun has dropped down a little bit too far and they have gone back. But that hornbill's running around the corner. Where are you going? Probably to find something else. So there is the lovely sunset. There is something quite funny about the way that a hornbill runs. So I'll go around the corner now, so hopefully we can get another view of them. There's 2 of them and they're quite relaxed and just going about their afternoon. Shall we see if we can catch up to them? Maybe we'll actually see the mongoose again. These are interesting mongoose. So I've come along one of the basalt ridges to look for leopards, because there's a big male leopard that sometimes sits here. And I was hoping that that's what we'd find. But these mongoose were interesting. They were on fallen trees. They were up on the rocks and in the crevices. So this must be where they are living. So not the usual termite mound that they will typically take refuge in. I'm just going to quickly scan around here and just see if I can't see the little mongoose. Maybe there's 1 or 2 poking their heads out. It would be a good place for them too, because these rocks retain a good amount of heat. I wonder if it would be any warmer than a termite mound, although we know termite mounds also generate a fair few degrees. Oh, it's actually quite eerie, that scene. Okay, nothing, but it's fine. We'll look at the hornbills up in front. Ah, there they are. Just in front, doing what hornbills do best, and flicking through the dung with their beaks.
The sun has just set behind this cheetah. Most beautiful ball of red disappearing behind the mountains. And we'll see if the same trend continues now that you've joined us, if she maybe puts her head back down straight away. But so far, it doesn't seem like she's going to do that. Look at how alert she is. And I know that I keep saying that, but this time, she's really had her ears perked up and she's still looking around her, taking in all the sounds of the bush going to sleep around her, hardy-dog calling in the distance. Still casting the odd glance into the next hillside across the valley, where there's still that group of impala that's slowly browsing their way to the north. I do think though that it's a little bit too far for her to head in that direction. cubs looking really relaxed. They've been purring a lot, grooming Mum, and Mum has been grooming them. We've been very, very spoiled this afternoon with just, I know they haven't done much, these cheetah, but we've been super spoiled just with the magnificent scenery that they've been in. Oh, and there's a bit of a stretch. And a sign that maybe, just maybe, she's going to start to move. We'll see if she is maybe just going to move to a different spot to rest for the night. Maybe those alarm calls she heard earlier are a bit of a concern for her. She doesn't know, well, we don't know, but perhaps she does, what caused the Inyalas to alarm call like that. She may be nervous that it might be a bigger predator that she'll need to keep her cubs safe from, as she bats her cub in the face with her tail. Or perhaps she's just decided this is not the best spot for her and her youngsters to spend the night. Tina, you're saying it's such a peaceful scene? Absolutely, Tina, and I wish that you were here with us so you could feel the lovely warm breeze blowing onto us and hear all the different sounds that we're surrounded by. Smell the smells of the dry grass and of the felt fire that's burning in the distance. Oh, again, everybody, we got our hopes up. That stretch had me sold. I thought she was going to move, but it's not to be. And I think from here, everyone, this mother cheetah is probably not going to move too far from here. She'll spend the rest of the night here in this open area where she can keep and look out for any danger. But with her belly being so empty, she will need to hunt soon. And so I think myself and Craig are going to leave her now, to leave her in peace for the evening, and we'll make our way back here tomorrow morning and hopefully catch up with her as she tries to hunt.
Look at this. Too precious. Here comes Mom. Oh. This is amazing, guys. You would have heard she gave a little bit of a growl. And you can also hear the owls. Oh, I am so happy to have this moment with you all. They're quite well hidden in this little spot of bush. Oh, the cub's climbing the tree. Oh, my precious boy. Oh, you're excellent. And a tambuti. Wowza. You are climbing a tambuti. Wow, he's getting really far up. Tandy has seen something of interest on the ground. Whatever it is, she's not very happy with it. I don't think it's prey. And she's turning around. Look at this youngster. I'm so impressed with you. And with you, Tandy. You've done so well. Did you hear that low growl? The babblers are going crazy. She's growling at something. seem as if, I mean, I don't know, I don't speak leopard, but the cub went up the tree very quickly. I wonder if he got the hint from Thandi. Because I'm going to be quiet, you need to listen to this. She's growling in very low growls. Exactly, I'm thinking maybe there's another leopard around. Also look at the movement of her tail. She's not relaxed. Oh, I think there's another leopard. Let's just be patient. The cub is very, very, very safe in that tree. My thoughts exactly, guys. You were thinking maybe it's Mawati, that's why it hasn't come straight up here. I'm thinking that too. Alright, I'm gonna send you guys over quickly to something that I didn't catch. I was too busy hearing. You'll be right back.
Welcome back, guys. The action is on again. The crocodile did have a bite, but the lion came and he pulled the kill farther a bit, like a foot away from the crocodile. And now the tension has eased a little bit, but you can tell there is still a standoff. Yeah, the lion is claiming that the kill is his. It was a long wait, but finally the crocodile came out, and then the lion came and it actually pulled it away. I don't know what's gonna happen again, so let's watch. Let's see what's gonna happen. The crocodile has struggled. Yeah, the crocodile has actually struggled to have a bite or get hold of the wildebeest a few times, and I think that's what has been hindering him. Yeah, it's definitely round 2, and for sure the lion is giving knockouts every now and then, but the battle is still on. Yeah, the crocodile is not doing much. Okay, if it is rolled again, it might be very, very difficult for the crocodile to reclaim it. Yeah, he did manage to actually roll it over, but now looks like the lion is winning. During the night, I don't know what's gonna happen, but at this moment the lion has claimed the wildebeest. The crocodile has got nothing else to do but watch. I think he's intimidated by this huge lion. He's called Longface, and that's why he's not putting up a fight. Let's see if he's gonna walk out. Okay, yeah, is that a piece of meat or a rock, or what is it? I don't know. Could have been a piece of meat, definitely, because he cannot eat rocks. Is he gonna walk out and go try and pull it? It would be very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. But look at that power of the lion. Whew. You don't want to be under those jaws. Definitely this round goes to the lion. Look at that. Fantastic. Oh! He's following. This is amazing, guys. You really get to see a crocodile following something out of water. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, the lion is actually pulling the kill farther out. I think he's trying, because he knows in the next like half hour it's gonna be dark. If he leaves it very close to water, the crocodile is definitely gonna take it. But now when it's out like that, then the lion is going to claim it. I must say, because it's like this, I will leave them, but this is a place I want to be very early in the morning, so join me.
So Thandi has gotten up and gone into the Mawati now. The cub is still in the tree. Why don't we swing round and have a quick look?
Wow, that's exciting stuff down there. We were thinking about trying to join Trishala because nobody else is, but I just don't think we're going to get there before the end of drive, I'm afraid. Anyway, we came onto Chitwa looking for Hukamuri. I've had no luck, but BK and I have found at least, I'm going to say, 400 impala today. We're very pleased with that return.
Here's the other leopard. Oh, come on, I need to get a good look. I'm trying to have a look with my binos here, but I can't see. Eyes up at the cub. It's definitely a female. It probably is Subui. James Richard, do you think it might be Subui? Subui is a 2-2 leopardess. She's got this pink nose. And she's eyeing the cub. That was Thandi. She is looking at that cub. This is unbelievable. At least it's not a male. Are you gonna sit and watch this cub now? Okay, I think we can reverse it just a little bit. We're far away enough. You can stay on her, Theo. We'll just reverse a little bit so that we can get a better view. No, don't come down, cub. Okay, I think this is actually the best. Sorry about that, guys. But we are back. I saw Thandi moving there. Now these females are totally unrelated. Subui is usually in the southeast, or south rather. She was in this area. They're Tandy is from the Karula lineage, so he is not related. Wow, wow, wow. There's a cub chuffing away. I'm amazed no one has responded to the sighting yet, but hey, that's good for us. So hard to ask Mum, what do I do? The chuffing is a communication, a friendly communication between leopards. Tandy wouldn't chuff towards Sabui. Look at that, so intent on looking at that cub. This is the best position that we're going to get into, unfortunately, with this particular spot. Eric, you say you're surprised Tandy didn't just go after this female? Eric, I pretty much expected her to have a bit of a pawing with this female. So Sabui was seen around the Twin Dams Mulwati area, which is just a little bit more south to, from us at the moment, earlier today. So perhaps she knew that she's been around just from smell. Gosh, her mouth is so wet. Look at the fur on her chin. You can actually see one of the droplets. Now leopards drool when they see one another. They can drool when they're stressed, especially. Seeing a leopard that causes them to be stressed, they drool a lot. Still hear Tandy's low rumbles. A lot of you are asking about whether she would kill Tandi's cub, whether she'd want to. The only benefit to her to kill that cub would be to eliminate competition. But other than that, there's no real benefit. If it were a male leopard, perhaps it was Mowati or Tingana or Motswiri that came here, there would be a motivation because they'd want to kill the cub in order to get Tandi back into estrus so that they could mate with her if they didn't think that the cub was theirs. It is possible for another female to kill a cub, but it really gives her no benefit. The only thing it would do would be to assert herself in this area. Either way, it would be problematic for this little boy. She may not kill him, but leopards are solitary and they may associate with their kin, as we've seen on the show. Tandi would be extra protective, extra defensive because of the presence of the cub. Supui is curious about the cub. It's just a melting pot of very reactive outcomes in the situation. But females killing leopard cubs is far less common than males. But like I said, either way, Tandi doesn't want to expose her cub to any potential danger. I can hear elephants screaming in the background too. Whew. It's been a spectacular afternoon. A lot of you are wondering where Tandi is. Tandi is in the exact spot where Sebwig was in the Mowati. So that is, if you're on Twin Dams Road, which is parallel to the Mowati, it's in the junction of Twin Dams and Elephant Carcass. Station is just an update. I've lost visual of Tandi. I've got the cub in the tree and Supui on the ground.
If you'd like a hand, Tandi. Sorry.
So James is going to go down. Going to go down into the Mowati and alright, she's just come out here. Guys, we're going to have to go into IR. Kirst, if you're ready, we are. James. Alright, let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Tandi's popped back up. I've got visual of both Tandi, Supui, and cub.
Okay, copy. Just let us know if you want help at all.
Thank you. They're all fairly static, just very well hidden, but I'll let you know.
Okay, we'll just go into the drainage and wait down the side in case we come down this way.
Copy, I think that's a good idea. Okay, so we've got James standing by on the other side of the drainage in case they dip down. This is a very good example of how animals do not just react or attack out of nowhere, or they seldom do. They have to be put in such a compromising position that they feel that there's no other way out. See, they're not... I mean, they snarled at each other, they made a few sounds at each other, but they did not touch each other. Sibuyi and Thandi. Jenny, exactly. You say this could be a long standoff? Absolutely. And ultimately, what is going to happen if neither of these females go for each other? What's going to happen is that Thandi's just going to wait and wait and wait and wait until she feels safe enough to call her cub down. I think that's Sibuyi looking at James into the Mawati. They're basically trying to avoid each other. Excuse our aerial there. The way she's looking at the cub though, Theo's just had to shuffle around. The way Sibuyi's looking at that cub is very, very intense. Okay, let's keep quiet. You can hear Thandi. Sibuyi's now moved and she'll pop out there. Okay, great. James can actually see the cub in the tree, so let's go have a look. There's Sibuyi. Interesting, she's scent marking. But she's moving now. Moving south. Oh, she goes. Thandi's gonna wait a little while before she brings the cub down. At least until Sibuyi's out of her sight. And off Miss Tutu Sibuyi goes. still down here. Okay, well, the leopard cub is still in the tree. Let's go and see if James can see him.
We can see unbelievable scenes playing out here. There is the little cub, chuffing, bouncing. He's obviously quite nervous. I don't know if he's chuffing at Sibui or at his mother. He's obviously watching what's going on down below. And you might just be able to hear the growling. Okay, let's go back to Trish.
The tension has eased up substantially. The Sibui is moving back south on Twin Dams Road towards the boundary. Tandy is just taking some time to relax, realize that her cub is safe, everything is good. That was something. That was something. That was truly something. From sitting and looking at owls, and then going closer to have a better look at the owls, to Tandy Sibui and Tandy's cub. Not to mention that he did climb the tree spectacularly. We don't want to take away from his great climbing skills, but only talking about the tension. So interesting. This is something we don't see often. Or rather, what some of you concerned may happen, that Sibui may kill this cub, is something we don't see often. But when two females come together, and there's a cub in the tree, and one female is looking at that cub so intently, you can't help but feel maybe what could happen here, what's going to go wrong. You can't help but feel that. And I'm really glad that it worked out the way that we know it usually does, and that is that the females have a quick standoff, they don't know each other, they share boundary, and the cub is safe. I'm glad to have seen it firsthand. This has been spectacular. I've had the best day back imaginable. She's still growling, very low pitched growls. I suppose she'll just have to relax a little bit before she gets the cub down. The cub's at least stopped chuffing, so he is relaxed too, taking a cue from Mum. Stunning leopardess. Well, we've had, like I keep saying, a spectacular drive, magnificent, thrilling. Any other words you want to throw in there? From all our locations. And it's even better because you get to join us. So thank you guys for your questions and your comments. It's that time of the evening. See you in the morning.